Child, tuck yourself in bed and let me tell a story of Lemuria, a long-lost kingdom, and a girl born for glory.
Come transform with me into Aurora from Child of Light. Beware the night. So first we are going to start with the wings. Now these are probably the longest to do, but they're some of the most fun. You're going to need a screwdriver, some wire, and some tissue paper or gauze. Now first you're going to take a wire and you are going to curve it into a wing shape. And once you have that, do it again a second time. And then once you have your two pieces of wire that are curved, hot glue them together. Just like that. And then basically just mess with the wire until you get it the shape of the wing you want, like that. You're going to need to do this twice. As you can see, I am just making the big wing shape here. You're going to need two big wing shapes like this that are relatively the same size as each other. And you are going to need two small wing shapes. These are both very important. So as you can see, I'm just hot gluing the two wings, and these are what your two small wings should look like. Now, once you're done with the wing shape, you're going to need another piece of wire, and you are going to just set it in the middle for now and line it up so that it matches with the small wing like that. Then what you're going to do is you're going to take another section of wire and cut it off and basically just make little veins for the wing. You're going to do this on both sides. You're going to hot glue them together. This is a project that needs a lot of hot glue, so be prepared for that. And basically just do them on both sides like I'm doing on the screen right here. And glue as many veins as you like. I kept it to about 6 per wing. And it should have looks like that. So now comes the fun part. Once you are done all your wing frames, you need to spray paint them gold. Go into a well-ventilated area and try to keep the spray painting as even as possible, and be sure to get both sides. Once that is complete, cut out a piece of tissue paper that's shaped like the wing, and hot glue the frame onto the wing until it looks like that, and then you can use scissors to cut off any excess tissue paper that you don't need, and it should look like that. And then you're going to take another piece of tissue paper, cut it out in the shape of the wing again, and just lay it over top, and you're going to hot glue the frame to, again, you're going to hot glue the frame to the tissue paper. I recommend doing the top one section at a time, because the top one is a little more difficult to glue on than the bottom one. So once you're done with all your wing frames, you should have something that looks like this. And basically what you are going to do with these wings is you are going to line them up like so, and then you're going to take a pencil and just mark where it lies. And this will be so you can see where the hot glue goes. Now gently lift up the wing and just hot glue all of the wings so that the top wing can stick to the bottom wing. Remember, the smaller wing must be on the bottom for this to work. Now just gently press it down. Be sure not to burn yourself because the tissue paper is very thin. And yeah, I would recommend also hot gluing into the little cracks because you want this to be as sturdy as possible. And when you are done, just hook it to a bra or some straps to strap to your back. And when you are completely done with the wings, you should have 2 of these. Now let's move on to the crown. Now the crown looks difficult, but it is actually very easy. Get 2 pieces of foam board and line them up together like that, and then hot glue them down the center. Once you are sure it is completely dry, flip it over and hot glue it down the center again on the back, just to be sure that your foam board will stick together and that it is not going to fall apart. You definitely need it to be sturdy. Now, take the foam board and measure it around your head, like I'm doing here. Leave some room for overlapping, because you will want to overlap it to glue it properly. And then just keep your finger there, where it wraps around your head nicely. And once you are done with that, you're going to take a marker and make a line all the way up the foam board. And once you are done that line, you need to take some scissors and cut the excess foam board off so you have the room you need for your crown. Now, measure it around your head again, and what I'm doing here is I am figuring out how high I want the crown to go, because as you can see that the poster board is way too tall to be Aurora's crown. So I just made a quick little mark, and here I am marking the line all the way across so I have a nice guideline. And then just take your scissors and cut across that guideline so you have the exact amount of foam board that you need for your crown. Once you are done with that, measure it around your head again. And what I'm doing here is I am marking where the 4 prongs of the crown will go. Make sure not to have one prong be over the overlap. And also here I am marking where the rim of the crown is going to go. And when you're done, you should have something that looks like that. So now, once you are done measuring everything, start lightly mapping out where the prongs are going to go and how they're going to look. I recommend using a picture for reference here, because it just makes everything a lot easier. I also recommend using a ruler for the rim lines and the top of the prongs, just so everything is nice and neat. And here you can see I'm just finishing up the prong designs. They're very easy, and once you're done, you should have something that looks something like this. Now, all that's left to do for this part of the crown is to cut out the rims and the prongs so you have your crown shape. And when you are done, you should have something that looks like this. For support with the crown, because the prongs need to stand up, so we are using wire here, and I'm just cutting off a section of wire for each prong, and I'm just going to be hot gluing it down. This will keep the prongs to stick up, the prongs of the crown, because otherwise they would just fall over, and we don't want that. I would also recommend hot gluing things twice over, just so you are absolutely positive that they are sturdy. Once you have all that hot glued, here I'm just measuring it around my head once more just to make sure the prongs are where I want them and that they are standing up. Only do this when the hot glue is dry. Now take your crown out to a well-ventilated area and spray paint it gold. Try to keep the spray painting as even as you possibly can. I know it's difficult, and make sure you have something you don't particularly care about on the ground. So as you can see, I'm just using dry grass in my backyard. And make sure to get both sides, because you want it to look like it is a real golden crown and not a cut-up piece of foam board. If you can, try to get the edges of the crown as well. Next up is decorating. Now I just used paper, orange marker, brown marker, and these jewels from a craft store, and a reference picture. I just did the best I could. I cannot talk today. Just do the best you can, and I really do recommend looking for a picture for reference here, because it is really important. And don't forget to write faux on the inside, because it is a fake crown. And once you're done, just measure it around your head one final time so that you know where the overlap goes. Make sure to leave a little room because there is going to be a wig involved, and just hot glue the crown together. And there you have it. There's your crown. So the makeup for Aurora is very simple. I just used this pink face paint with an eyeshadow brush. I would recommend using a face paint brush, but I just had a eyeshadow brush. Make a circle on each cheek. As you can see, a face painting brush would have helped here. I had to do the circle multiple times because of the eyeshadow brush's incompetence. And then when you are finished with your circle, just color it in with the face paint. Try to keep it as neat as possible because in the reference, Aurora's cheeks are completely circular and almost perfect. Once you are done with one cheek, be sure to repeat the steps on the other cheek. And then what you are going to do is take a dark brown eyeshadow and just, this is for the freckles. So just take your glasses off if you have glasses. As you can see, I'm gonna have to do that here. And just dot the eyeshadow all over your face where you want the freckles to go. You can use a reference here, but I just dotted freckles all over my face because it was faster. Then once you think you have enough freckles, just use your finger and blend them in a little bit so they look more natural, like so. And there you have it, Aurora's makeup. Everything else you need is fairly simple. You need this red wig that I got from Party City. I am using this golden dress that I had. I thought it worked perfectly for Aurora. I'm also using these white gloves that I got off of Amazon. And of course, you cannot forget your sword. This is a foam sword from Walmart. All that's left to do is get in costume and go find those dark monsters. This was an awesome cosplay to make. It does take some time and some effort and some supplies, so it's not very simple, but I think the end result is totally worth it. I am in love with this costume. The only thing that would make it better is if I had a way to make Igniculus, or however you pronounce his name. But anyways, guys, thanks for, I hope you enjoyed this cosplay. Stay strong while I'm gone. Bye, all my chocolate chips!